Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast, where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theater. Your movie masters today are Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
Hey.
And myself, I'm Colin. Today we're getting into the movies of the week, which are Infinity Pool and Maybe I Do. That's the name of a movie. I'm not, we're definitely going to do it, but the movie is called Maybe I Do. But before we get into that, need to address the newest installment of the program. I'm so excited about this email. Have I told you guys how happy I am about the email?
You haven't.
I started an email.
I like your smile, though. It's a nice smile.
An email
moviemasters760@gmail.com. Here's what I want everyone to do is to send an email to that email address, moviemasters760@gmail.com, and hit us with any questions you have, comments. What I'd like to do, I'm assembling a team of suggestions of movies to watch. And once we get a big enough pool, we can pick from them randomly and maybe talk about them on the show. But we're still, this is ground level. I'm surprised anyone emailed us.
Me too.
I put it out last time, and I was like, you know what? It's too archaic, too ancient of an art form. The email. No one emails anymore. They DM, they text, they group chat, they Snapchat. No, email. Type it out. The goddamn keyboard.
Keyboard only email.
Keyboard, desktop, computer.
We'll know.
We'll know. Moviemasters760@gmail.com. But we got 3 emails. I'm interested in this question. This gentleman asked a question.
Oh, okay.
And tell us if I'm not using the names unless you said to use your name. Anyways. One person asked if there's a movie coming up that we're excited about, and if there are any movies, like genres, that we have kind of blind spots in as far as movies go. I have no idea what's coming up. I guess that Ant-Man movie. Mm-hmm. If you think I'm too bougie, you're crazy. Watch my man Paul Rudd.
And Blue Beetle, which is definitely coming out.
No, I don't think Blue Beetle's coming out. I'm looking forward to see if Blue Beetle's going to come out at all. That would be cool. But as for blind spots, I was thinking about this, and I realized I don't think I have a bigger blind spot than Westerns.
Yeah.
I'd like to say after my recent RRR romance with the movie RRR and how much I like that movie, I was like, oh, geez, maybe I need to be catching up with these Bollywood movies, which is definitely qualifies as a blind spot. But I feel like it's like, if you watched Avengers Endgame and we're like, man, American movies are crazy.
Yeah. It's not really a genre in itself.
Right. It's more like an entire goddamn nation's film history, but still, that would be there. If we're talking, specific genres, I would say westerns. Yeah, I know basically nothing. That would be my blind spot. If you're looking to fill out some recommendations for me to shoot from the hip from, no pun intended, that would be mine. Justine, what are you thinking? What's on your mind?
Obviously, I can't wait for Oppenheimer. That's my boy. By whom
boys?
I mean J. Robert Oppenheimer.
I mean, who did that one? I can't remember. I'll tell you right now, everyone listening to this episode, I cannot remember any human being's name.
Christopher Nolan?
Fucking Christopher goddamn Nolan. Yeah.
With Cillian Murphy.
Oh, Cillian's in it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
I'm back in.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And blind spots, I don't know. I guess just like romance movies.
Okay. Yeah, like golden era Hollywood romance, or just in general.
I just mean like, yeah, I know there's movies that aren't rom-coms that are just the rom, right?
That's a good question.
Just the romance.
Yeah, it's just the romance.
Like steamy romance?
I don't know. Is there just plain old romance movies? Something like a Wuthering Heights or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. If that exists, then
you have to go.
It.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, there's no more of a blind spot than if you don't even know
if it exists.
If it exists.
I'm gonna go with Dune 2. That's coming out late in the year. I gotta get my Chalamet fix on. I'm gonna go with Barbie. I'm psyched for Barbie.
Jesus Christ, it's gonna be insane.
That's gonna be a nuts
I
movie.
might do poppers. I'm not gonna lie.
We are going to get The Flash in 2023, no matter how bad this dude messes it up. I mean, maybe.
All
right?
fucking bets are off.
You believe it when you see it, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm psyched for Little Mermaid just because I think it's going to make a lot of people even more mad than they are right now. And I also think it'll be good. I like movies that will kind of like upset people. Let's see. I'm also hyped for John Wick Chapter 4. I finally started watching that series the other week.
We have also got caught up in the Wick verse, so I'll add that one.
And then Scream 6, I'm going to go in optimistic just because it's like the last one was so bad that this one like kind of has to reboot.
That's such a sick mentality. I'm looking forward to this movie. The last one was terrible.
Yeah. It's like I have like this weird, bizarre form of optimism when it comes to movies where I'm like, well, if they made the last one so terrible, they can only go back up.
I think they call that brand loyalty, but don't take
I think
my
they
word
call
for it.
that an abusive relationship.
Okay,
You're
yeah.
in a toxic relationship with Scream.
Yeah, with the Scream
The
franchise.
ghost mask guy.
I think out of all those, probably most psyched for either Barbie or Dune.
Barbie's gonna be that's gonna be the film event of the year. Unironically, no cap, fam.
Yeah.
What's your blind spot?
Blind spot for movies?
You know all, you see all.
No, I would say like I noticed that Netflix is like starting to put up a lot of Korean content.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably my blind spot. I need to get like more versed in that because a lot of the Korean stuff I've watched, I've actually loved quite a bit.
Right.
So I'd say that's probably the blind spot I would like to get more masterful. There's other things like I'd say there's a lot of like extremely popular movies that I've just never seen, like any Lord of the Rings,
Right.
Roadhouse. Everybody's like, bro, they're remaking Roadhouse. I go, I don't care because I've never seen it and I don't have any affinity toward it.
Yeah, but that's not like genre. That's
Yeah, exactly. That's like specific ones. Yeah, but genre, I would say like I don't know. Let's say Korean drama.
Yeah. Okay. Dylan, same question to you. Movie you're looking forward to and a genre you have a blind spot for.
Man, gave you some hard thoughts. Some long, hard thoughts. It's coming out next week. 80 for Brady.
I knew you were going to say
It's the only
Shred.
fucking movie that matters
gonna
this
shred.
year. All right? I really like, and I'm going to say it, Book Club 2. I loved Book Club 1, or just Book Club. Now there's Book Club 2.
Right.
Excited. Like, I legitimately really liked Book Club 1, and now there's 2.
Look, I mean to say this with like the utmost, respect to our senior citizens listening. Like, let me tell you, you want to make some money. This is a demographic that is, I don't want to say underserved because they get served with stuff like this, and it's packed. They fill them up. They fill up the seats. The seats get filled. Mm-hmm. You put some gray hairs on screen. You're gonna get some butts in seats. That's just science.
That's true, because when I saw Book Club in theaters, it was legitimately packed.
Yeah.
And I was like, me and my friend were like the youngest people there.
And let me tell you, we all want
By 50 years.
theater going to thrive, and any means necessary. You got to get some like horror movies to get the kids out. Make some more horror movies. If you got to put some octogenarians on screen and have them rock out, do that.
And as we'll discuss later, I think having octogenarians on screen makes for better acting, dialogue, perhaps.
And next up, we got Robbie Stewart, who asks. He says we've become one of his most anticipated podcasts every week, which is crazy to hear. Thank you so much for that. I just feel like I'm just yelling into the abyss every time. So it's so nice to hear someone say something nice back. And Dylan, you listening to this one?
Sure.
He agrees. He says Mrs. Harris was one of his biggest surprises last year. He really dug that movie. And he says it's kind of the same consensus that we have on a lot of these movies. Not a movie he would see without the unlimited pass. Goes to show the worlds that open up when the options are in front of you.
I love that he saw Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris because I haven't met too many people that have, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So
it got the nod, got the Oscar nod, baby. Best costume.
Reissue it.
Yeah, it was so early in the year. Like, by the time anybody was talking about it for awards, it's like, where are you going to watch it?
And our girl got the Golden Globe nod too.
Do you think the name works against it?
No, it's a great name. It's catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a remake of like 3 other Mrs. Harris's.
Oh damn! There's more.
Yeah. And it's like a book or something.
Yeah,
I studied it. I really studied. I like deep dived into Mrs. Harris. I was like, oh, this is like the 4th version of this film.
So you're saying there's previous films, but it's not Leslie Manville?
No, it's not the same. It's a different Mrs. Harris every time.
Yeah, kind of like
Same
Leslie
stories,
Manville.
I think, but different portrayals.
Well, it's safe to say they just get it better each time they go.
Yeah,
They
I would
keep
say
improving.
All right.
Also, while I have the mic, my blind spot is I don't have any. I see all movies. That is.
There's not a genre that you're curious to see more of.
More of?
Yeah, like you're a general genre, like detective movies or some shit.
I'll watch them. Whatever.
French New Wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of Italian films.
All right.
Movies out of Italy.
You're missing out. I'll put you on.
Oh,
son.
that is your.
I'll put you on,
wheelhouse, huh?
son.
That's
I'll put you on.
Never mind. I take that back. I know a lot about it.
Brent,
Yes.
your boy Alec Beck is hitting this.
Alec Beck.
The homie. You know what he calls us?
What does he call us?
Respectful, playful, and he says we don't pull punches.
What a sweet guy.
Sweet guy. And for that reason, he's putting in a movie review request.
Oh no.
And again, I'm trying to stall. We're not going to go this side one for one. I can't guarantee that, but at some point we'll have a pool big enough to pull from. And I will say we've already made some headway into this one. The entire Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh boy. So I know I see what he did there.
Talk about blind spots.
Yeah, because that is definitely a blind spot, except for Dylan. And I know what he just did there because you specified that when we have enough movies, you will put them into a hat and we will select them.
Right.
There's 9 of those.
Exactly. So he's
We already have enough movies.
There's 9?
Yeah.
I thought there was 6. Well, one down. We
10 is coming out this year.
accidentally watched it.
By accidentally, she means we got sucked into the magic of Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious 3, Speed Faster. That was the first Fast and Furious movie I've watched in earnest, I guess. Like not just in the background of a stoner's apartment while I'm like dicking around on my phone, but like actually paying attention to the movie. And it was I have no qualms with that. I'm on a big 2000s kick right now. I'm like ready for every movie that's you've ever seen in a red box and never rented. I'm watching them right now.
Did Robbie or the other person that wrote in suggest movies?
He didn't. We have one. So we have one entire.
So we just have one, and it's 9 movies. That's amazing.
We'll get more. I have faith.
I have a special movie relationship with Alec for New Year's. He's like, we're gonna watch one of the greatest movies of all time. I was like, I had in my head what those would be.
Right.
He goes, it's the Gumball Rally from 1973. It's just like this road movie. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
He does say that it's usually car people who talk about the Fast and Furious movies. So this would be civilians giving their take, civvies, if you will. We got. I mean, Dylan says he has no blind spots. This is case in point.
Yeah.
Gumball Rally from 1973.
No.
Car chase.
The fucking Fast and Furious
Oh
movies.
yeah, no, those movies. Started in 2001, still going on strong.
If you want to get in the mix, hit us up. moviemasters760@gmail.com. I was kidding about the desktop computer. If you don't have access to a desktop computer, you could probably send an email with your phone. I don't know. I've never tried it. Moviemasters760@gmail.com. Questions, comments, or if you have a movie suggestion and the service it's streaming on, let us know, and eventually we'll unleash a grand master plan. But for today, we have 2 movies to talk about. The first being Infinity Pool, written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg. This is this Daddy Cronenberg's little
Spawn?
yeah.
Let me just hop in right here because I've been dying for like 3 days to talk about this. As we're walking out of the theater, I just hear Colin mutter under his breath, "Got a lot to learn, Brandon." What does that mean?
What I really muttered was that was a 90s episode of Tales from the Crypt with about an hour of padding around it. That's what I really said. It's got Alex Skarsgård in it. Which how many Skarsgårds are there, Justine?
4?
Is it like a super common name and I'm just they're
related.
That's so weird. Anyways, and Mia Goth and it's about some folks. They're on an island. I'll give you this is a Tales from the Crypt style pitch. They're on an island. They do a crime. They realize that you don't get exterminated. You get cloned, and then your clone gets killed. Your clone gets killed instead, and this leads our dude Skarsgård into this secret society of old rich creeps who just do crimes with no repercussions. It's like there's one law for them and another one for us, and it's hijinks ensue after that. Okay, I have a question for everyone. And this is one I've been trying to ask when I watch this movie: is what is pretentious? 'Cause it's kind of a dismissive thing. You say, this is pretentious. But I don't have like a working definition beyond like the lazy, like.
I think you're onto something because for this movie, I normally don't do this, but for this movie, I felt like it was polarizing. So I wanted to like go and look at what the actual feedback was.
Right.
And a lot of people said that they felt this movie was specifically made for critics.
Really?
Yeah. The reason I say that is I think that kind of butts into being pretentious. When you're making something with an audience in mind versus making something out of pure art.
I suppose. Jeez, I don't know. I guess, yeah. So if your movie is made for, I don't know, and a more academic audience, that's pretentious.
Yeah, like because my read on the movie legit is this is a Rob Zombie movie made for people that have purchased A24 merchandise.
I just figured little Brandon Cronenberg has a femdom kink, and that's all it is. He just wants to be, put down. But yeah, I mean, I just really felt this was a little bit pretentious. I'm like, but what makes a movie pretentious?
I got it.
Okay,
I looked up the definition. I just Googled it.
And it was a picture of this movie. Oh, what was it?
Is a very good definition.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why we don't resort to the dictionary anymore.
I've never thought of that.
Pretentious. Attempting to impress by affecting greater importance, talent, culture, etc. than is actually possessed.
Yeah, this movie's pretentious.
Yeah, and I'm stumbling over my words here because I'm trying to like get this out because I was thinking of more like visual, artsy, stylistic films, something like Jodorowsky's movies, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't love, but I respect.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call those pretentious.
No.
But they're really alienating. But I don't know if they're really pitched towards a highbrow crowd.
They
or anything.
weren't. No.
Jodorowsky is like
He just
makes art. That's
he has
what
some
he does.
shit in his head that he's trying to get out.
He's not trying to tell you anything.
Yeah. I mean, he invented a lot of like visual language in a lot of ways. So you can't accuse him of like, jacking some swag or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know why this just irked me so much watching it, but it did. And I think it's that I'm smarter than this movie. And do not consider myself a smart person. You heard me say I'm looking forward to Ant-Man. You know I'm not a goddamn cinephile here. But I was like, I see everything they're doing here, and I know the tricks that are up their sleeves, and it's not really working. So I almost think pretension is maybe like relative to where you're at, your sensibilities are. One person's pretentious is another person's deeply moving,
Yeah, that was the other half of like reviews that I saw, like from normal people, just
Right.
saying like, "Oh my God, this blew my mind. I've never seen anything like this on film before." Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going, "What about A Clockwork Orange?" Like, what about even Hostel was kind of like this,
Right.
or Wake and Fright, which is this old Australian movie.
Well, while we're throwing out crazy ass movies, it hit me like days later. I was like, oh yeah, Solo. That's the good version of this movie.
Yeah.
Like that's a movie that's not for everyone for a lot of reasons. But I did watch that movie, all the, hype about shock aside. You watch that movie and you're like, they're telling a story. They're using this stuff for a reason. That's a big part of it too. I think you need to have like, if you're going to be stylistic and artsy, it should probably play into some grander theme, or there'd be a reason you're doing it other than just being stylized and artsy and having trippy moments.
It's not enough to just say rich people suck.
Yeah, or you can say rich people suck, but show how they make people eat shit. Don't fucking show me, hey, we're drunk. There's no repercussions.
James!
This is kind of like, I know what you did last summer, isn't it?
It's not unlike that. Well, this is where I'm gonna.
Okay, explain more, because I just watched that a week ago.
Oh, I have never seen it. But
That is the best thing you have ever said on this podcast, and I'm so happy right now.
well, some kids get up to some stuff and they kill someone. And
There's repercussions, though. This movie has no repercussions.
He loses his humanity.
Oh, I guess they all do.
Yeah.
Is he a clone or is he OG?
Yeah.
Is he a first press or?
Shit.
You would never know.
again,
It's more of like a mother-father stamper situation to get into pure record.
Right. Yeah. Was there a re-one in the Matrix etching? I just, again, very fucking Tales from the Crypt. Very like 45 minutes, hour long with commercials syndicated. Like, who is the clone? Who isn't? And I mean, again, I feel like Brandon Cronenberg is pretty hung up and has some guilt he's trying to figure out by being the son of an artist, and has some thoughts of nepotism clearly that he's trying to work out on screen. I'm not bogged down by that. I'm not like, I'll take him for what he's doing. You know, I don't need the sins of the father do not hold any weight with me as far as what the kid's doing. But your dad made Dead Ringers, bro. Like, you can't do a clone movie if you're, I'm just saying, you know, like
that's incredible.
It's out there, but whatever. I'm moving past that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's the weird thing. It's like, why are you doing the same stuff like your dad then, or trying to do the same stuff? Like, I guess he could just be like, well, this is what I'm into also. And so, well, because you were influenced by what your dad did, right? So if he feels bad about that, I don't know, don't do it or do something different.
I mean, there's like a Scorsese interview or quote or something, but he was talking about, they were asking him if he can, you know, how easy it is to get movies made. And he goes, oh, I can make a gangster movie tomorrow, but if I want to tell, you know, a love story, I don't know that I can just do anything I want. Like, they put me in a box of the kind of things I can make for the kind of budget. So it's like, if I'm Brandon Cronenberg and I'm trying to get my franchise about people who race cars and save the world off the ground and no one's biting, I'm like, well, fuck. Okay, how about some gross stuff happens and there's a lot of pus and bodily fluids involved. Oh, we love that. We love it when there's bodily fluids.
We just watched The Wedding Hustler, Skinamarink. There was Terrifier 2 last time. I'm not taking... They can do whatever.
Yeah, you don't need a budget.
You don't need it, yeah.
But I don't know, if you want to get certain movie stories told in a certain way, I don't know, maybe you want to get some fucking flicks under your belt. Man, I'm sorry. I'm going to do it exactly what I just said. Cronenberg hit us with Shivers out the fucking gate, and that's one of my favorite fucking movies of his. So it's like, I'm not even going to give you, I'm such a fucking asshole. I'm sorry, Brandon Cronenberg. I'm sorry. We're all rooting for you. You have heard the words of encouragement that we've said. We have encouraged you to go everywhere you want to go in life. But that said, God, I love fucking Shivers, and I'm not even cutting them slack for shitting the bed out the gates for this movie. And I didn't see Possessor. Brent, you're a Possessor man.
Yeah, and to make sure, you know, I've watched it, or I rewatched it about a week ago, or no, I rewatched it the day before we went and saw Infinity Pool, just to get into his head, you know, and his visual style. And yeah, Possessor is, I mean, I'd say Infinity Pool's better.
Right.
Just because Possessor was more of like a, let me show you what I can do. Because like prior to that, he had done a 10-minute short. It's a very long name, and I'm going to forget it. But, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, they're tapping the different regions of this girl's mind, and she has to talk while they're stimulating different areas. Yeah. So, yeah, you're kind of getting into the Cronenberg, kind of like, you're right. Yeah, like just the name. You kind of just automatically get put in this box. So yeah, he was already like doing that with his shorts. That short got him Possessor, and then Possessor is just more of a showcase than an actual good story, right. I would say. They're showing, hey, I could do these cool, you know, practical effects and make these masks and have these creepy shots.
God, the masks, you just reminded me.
And then then you go into Infinity Pool. You actually do get a story, but it's like, a lot of people were asking me, you know, on text, be like, hey, what'd you think? You know, they either saw it or they're about to see it. And I just said, it looks like somebody with the last name Cronenberg went and watched White Lotus on HBO, right? You know, and just kind of said, yeah, rich people are bad. Here's some crazy hijinks.
I don't know. It just did not wrap up in a satisfying way. And maybe just the visuals weren't effective enough to be like actually chilling. Maybe they didn't push it to some level where it would be like visceral.
Yeah.
Maybe that just seems like there was no big message beyond the same shit we all fucking know, which is that like, yeah, rich people don't have the same repercussions as us. And again, he has a femdom kink. We don't kink shame there. This is fine.
Right, yeah, of course.
Dylan, you've been silent. You saw it more recent than us.
Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I just walked out of the theater just now. Now we're here.
Did you go in blind?
Sorta. I knew Mia Goth was in it, and I knew a Skarsgård was involved. Mm-hmm. And it was a Brandon Cronenberg joint. That's all I knew. Mm-hmm. and I knew what I was walking into just by those three names. Or just Mia Goth and Cronenberg, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Skarsgård is more like, he's just there for me. But like the other two, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Well, not happen, but I knew exactly how it was going to like be played and stuff, so whatever. I will say, everyone listening, it might come as a shock to you guys, everyone in the room too. I am just like a glutton for like punishment and just like beatings from like some guy gets like beat up, or like that scene where the clone's getting beat up.
Right. Oh yeah. Stabbed and shit.
No, not that. Well, that too.
Oh, okay.
But there's a part where he's beating up the naked clone that they called the dog.
At the party?
Right.
Whenever they were cutting to like his face being like busted up and like breaking and shit. Honestly, man, I just wish they showed more of that. Because it would speed cut. It would show me a bit of it, and then it'll cut back to him just like looking, and then he sucks on Mia Goth titty covered in blood. But I want more shots of the face being demolished, and that's my only
gripe.
Yes, I wish there was just more of that. But the violence I did see, which was stabbings, stuff like that, that was cool. And like I didn't know it was a clone. I don't know. Should I spoil it?
Well, you were out the gate already.
We did?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I didn't know it was a clone film, and I hate the ideas of clones to begin with. So it already just pissed me off out the gate.
You did have those years where you were involved in the wars.
Yeah, exactly. I really hate the idea of clones. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Like I hate episode 2
He did get attacked by them.
for that idea. Is that like, oh, you can just get cloned? It's like fuck. It freaks me out. I hate it. But
All right.
the movie was okay. I wish it was again just more violent, less sex.
So since we're talking about the clone, yeah. Since we're talking about the clone thing, do you think it would have been more interesting if it went into what it touched upon, which was like you don't know if the replicant is the OG or you know what I mean? Or like you don't know like who's walking around as the reproduction. Could that have like sustained a whole movie?
I mean, I feel like that's just as well tread as rich people bad. So it's like either way you're dealing with kind of a well-worn trope, and I don't have faith based on what I saw on screen that old boy has anything like new to bring to the table in terms of like these tropes. And if you're going to talk about something like that, like you got to have a fresh take or something.
You might find this amusing. I needed to make the movie more interesting for myself. So when they introduced the notion of like, is the person walking around the replicant or the OG? I was paying attention to the lines under Skarsgård's eyes to see. And at one point, I thought they had flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's the replicant then. And then I thought that would develop into the rest of the movie. No.
Nada.
They
You get
did
nothing.
I got nothing. Oh, the lead was supposed to be Robert Pattinson. They asked him, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it. So respect to our Sigma Male of the Year.
Yeah, it's true.
He's like, I work with like real people, right?
Oh, dude, y'all know I make real movies, right?
That movie is just, like you said, it's like a TV show. It has that much story to it. While I was watching it, I was like, is there any like real symbolism or anything? Like, are any shots more than just a camera rolling,
Style for style's sake.
Yeah, there's no like if you're in a class and you're analyzing this film, what do you say about it?
Right.
It's about rich people getting to get away with stuff, but then why are they mistreating this guy? I don't know. They don't really talk about it either.
Yeah.
They don't say if he doesn't like it. They don't say anything. Nothing is said. It's kind of disappointing. It doesn't lean into anything. And so it just kind of is flat across the board. It's just trying to rely on, 4-minute long strobe lights, hoping that nobody notices.
Yeah, and even some of the stylistic choices, like that one shot where they first meet up and they're talking together, and it's like a view from afar, and like it's closing in, and it's like, wow, why are their view obstructed? And it gets closer and closer, and for no reason. It's just style for style's sake. Like, it doesn't tie in with anything about being an outsider or coming in. Didn't seem to have any deeper meaning, and thus, and I think Dylan's point addresses a bigger issue with the movie, which is, why not just be fucking violence and titillation and like gore and exploitation? Like if you're going to have nothing else, at least be fucking entertaining. And that's the thing. It's like if all of these strobe light psychedelic orgies and stuff are not going to tie in with a larger theme, or if they are just basically interchangeable with any other way of shooting this, then why not, I don't know, make it look cool? Because it kind of doesn't. It's not visually that thrilling, and it is just indulgent. It doesn't really tie in with the story or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't tie into the story very well. And there's not like a stylistic choice that stays consistent throughout the movie. You were talking about the shot that kind of zooms in, and then there's just, nothing remarkable that you would say about the way that it's shot. And then there's the one scene where they all have the masks on, which is the only time that you see the people, where you see it shot like that, where they're just facing you like a portrait.
Yeah, the Slipknot video part.
Yes. And it's like, well, where did that come from? It's jarring, really. Because the rest of it is sort of filmed like a fly on the wall or whatever. And then there was a part that was also jarring when they are breaking into the policeman's house.
Sure.
So they have like people at gunpoint, and then there's like another guy in the house that they didn't know was there. And he's there for like 10 seconds because they show him and he's like hiding and he's trying to like get up his nerve to confront them. And so you see like the people from his point of view. Okay, this is a different choice. And then you stop seeing it from his point of view, and then he dies. Terrible.
I'm with you. Yeah, that stuck out for me as well.
Yeah, it's just too many things like that where it's like, okay, now we're behind a chair while they're talking in I don't know whose room it is. It's all over the place.
It felt like really a movie made by a music video director.
Sure.
Yeah, just kind of
just
trying
little
stuff.
vignettes of like, oh, this would be a cool look, and it's like, yeah, that was a cool thing, kind of, but not enough to make up for all the other stuff. I feel like we're piling on here. Let's kind of wrap things up. I'm gonna say for Infinity Pool, are we watching it, or are we making a clone of ourselves to watch it and then executing the clone after they see it without any knowledge of the film? I'm going to say make a clone of yourself and send it to watch the movie. Don't watch it yourself. Stab it in the abdomen 1,000 times. Or get like the son of someone who the clone did wrong to stab him in the abdomen a bunch of times. This is the first movie of the year I have genuinely disliked. It's the first run. I mean, it's not like hate. It's not an unwatchable movie, but it's kind of a lot of hot air. It's a lot of fluff. I'm good sitting this one out. I'm getting my clone to watch this and then erasing the memory. Justine?
I would be afraid that if my clone watched it, I might be the clone.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
You remember the movie?
Yeah, and you would remember the movie. I will say, who said it? That like every comic book might be somebody's first that they're reading. Well,
yes, there's an old adage that says every comic book may be a person's first comic book, and thus, if you read a random ass Batman comic from the 60s, there's going to be a recap of the origin of Batman, maybe in the first panel.
Mm-hmm. So I kind of was thinking about this movie in that way, where it's like maybe somebody has never seen like a good, smart movie.
Yeah, like
before.
A transgressive imagery used to tell the story.
And so they watch this and they're like, whoa, I've never seen anything like that. It's like, okay, there's a lot that you should catch up on, So I would say if you're going to go see a Cronenberg movie, don't let it be Brandon's.
Oh my God.
Brent, what are your thoughts?
I think like my comments today are a lot more harsh. They indicate that I had a harsh take on the movie, whereas oddly, I did enjoy watching it while it happened, but I'm just hesitant to call it great or even good. If anything, I think my comments today are like more of like everybody needs to tamper down what they're saying about this movie in terms of it being, the greatest film I've ever seen in my life, and so because there is some of that going on. And I think they'll proclaim anything that comes out to be, oh my God, like just be completely hyperbolic about it. Right. And that needs to stop. I don't think I'm going to watch this movie again, so I'm going to go ahead and say I would have my clone walk itself out on a leash and kick itself in the head and, I don't know, go to a resort afterward to recover, but sit in the rain just so we could be arty and pretentious. I don't know what to say. Dylan, on to you.
Which one was a good one?
Well, I guess if you wouldn't want to see the movie, you would clone yourself, have the clone watch the movie, and then murder your clone
What's
after.
the good one?
If you would want to watch the movie, you would just watch it yourself.
Okay, well, I'll make a couple clones and make them all watch it, and I'll watch it with them, like a bunch of friends.
Get some
Build
ticket
theater.
sales going.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then, like, some point, have some of those clones get executed, and while we're watching, like, and laughing at some of our clones being executed.
I'll give him that part. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I literally cried. I cried. I like laughed into. I was with my friend. I had to like laugh into my hoodie. It's too fucking funny.
Yeah,
because it tricked you. I mean, like
no. I was razzle dazzled for sure.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I like that scene. Anyway, yeah, I'll clone myself and then just watch the movie with my clones.
With the clones.
But would you stab the clones in the face a lot because you felt that was lacking?
No, since it's my clone.
Oh,
I feel kind of weird if I punch myself.
I'll give you one of my clones and you can just stab it in the head.
That's fine.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know what I wish they had done?
Go on.
And I was thinking this the whole time.
A lot. I think the answer is a lot.
Yes, but
more, better.
There's not enough world building in
Good
this.
point. Very good point.
And I would have liked to have seen why is that country the way that it is?
Yeah.
Or can we see some of that country work? It's like, no, this. Oh, there's this crazy thing about these people. They make a clone and they'll kill him. Okay, why? How do they do that?
Yeah.
How are they able to do that?
That's the more
Why are they
interesting
so
story.
strict? None of that.
Yeah, well, that would be what a sci-fi writer would do if you're interested in making a 100-minute music video. You just get some cool masks made and are just like, look at this one, isn't
You
it?
just
fucked
hire
up
Mia
looking?
Goth now. I think that's
have her yelling.
Yeah.
To your point about world building, are we just in this era where we're too afraid to name the enemy or the country?
Yeah.
The only thing I could discern was it's at a resort called La Tolka.
Yeah, but all the writing is like it's a made up place,
Yeah.
and that was a cool thing where it's just
Sure.
like squiggles.
It all gives you all the more reason if I'm buying into this surrealistic world,
Yeah.
and you've effectively gotten me on board with the idea that you can do all this shit. Focus on that shit. I do not care about these 6 people. I definitely don't care about Mia Goth, screaming derogatory things at some fucking guy.
Yeah. The really weird thing about that, where it's very like much an alien country, quote
Right,
unquote.
right.
It's obviously like an alien world where they can actually do this cloning and stuff. And if the people of the country don't seem to mind the cloning, should we be minding the cloning? It even muddies the message even more. It's like rich people can do whatever. Yeah, that's allowed. Nobody else seems very bothered by it.
Well,
In fact, it's like in the law. So why do we care?
I think that's reserved for like tourists because they're so reliant on tourism. That's their logic internally, but I don't. Come on, let's put this behind us.
Sure.
Next up, Maybe I Do is a movie. It's written and directed by Michael Jacobs, who's previously just done like TV stuff. It's a very, very, very light romantic comedy, very much a like 3-act play structure with somewhat kind of stagey dialogue. Revolves around two young 20-somethings, right? And they're wondering whether they should get married or not, and they're sort of looking at their parents' relationships as examples and dealing with the insecurities they have given that their parents' issues. And it's that's a terrible description of the movie, I think, because it doesn't really focus on the two kids too much. They are just, Uniqlo mannequins. But you get some star power in the parents. Richard Gere and Diane Keaton as parents of the daughter, and William H. Macy and Susan Sarandon as parents of the boy. It's more about them, and they get the bulk of the movie, thankfully. And man, it is so fun to see them perform. I laughed a lot at this movie. I guess like a Woody Allen style rom-com.
Yeah, for
Is that
sure.
fair to compare it to? Mm-hmm. Like it's a romantic comedy, but it's definitely a little more cerebral and adult, and not, I'd say cerebral, like lowercase c on that. It's like you don't read the New York Times, but maybe you've thought about it. That kind of cerebral.
You do the crossword puzzle.
Sure. Or of the crossword puzzle and it's hard, but maybe you don't do it. Maybe you romanticize being the kind of person who would do that. And if you do, you would be in this movie. Yeah, very performance driven. And the dialogue is snappy and well written. It was really interesting that the universe, all knowing that she is, presented me this film right after Infinity Pool. Because in Infinity Pool, I was like, again, just ruminating on these ideas. Like, what is a pretentious? Stilted dialogue is kind of part of it, right? But then I'm watching this movie and it's very stylized. Just a guy at his keyboard getting all his clever ideas out. But it somehow fucking works. And it's like the opposite of pretentious. I think it's maybe wordy, verbose. But all the observations that the characters are making and stuff, it's all kind of clever. And it's delivered so well.
Timing, all those four mains, their timing is impeccable.
Again, a hallmark of better writing than other people's is that it all has the same style, but each character has their own voice.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not easy to pull off.
Yeah, because William H. Macy's character is a great, like, beaten man, like a browbeaten, guy. He's deep into his relationship with Susan Sarandon. Do we give him all the interconnections of this? I might as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before you do that, I will say, let's go back to 1978 real quick.
Right.
There's a 22-year-old Michael Jacobs, and he was writing at the time. He wrote a Broadway flop called Cheaters, which he then reinvigorated for this movie. So when I got out of the movie, I remember saying to you, that was clearly a play at some point, right?
And
so I looked into it further, and this is he just revitalized this thing that failed, back in the late 70s when he was only 22.
Yeah,
just
so
like,
he walked out of Annie Hall, sat down at a typewriter,
exactly.
started banging it out.
100%. But now he's got life behind him. You know what I mean? So he's like, I could write this a lot better, which I think he did. To charming effect. Like you said, I was laughing the entire time. I was blown away by the four mains.
Yeah,
absolutely blown away. It was stellar. But yeah, go ahead.
And I think his time spent in TV, like writing sitcoms and stuff, definitely informed how to write just an economic story. Where it moves along. I mean, situational comedies, right? Like situations arise, and there is comedy as a result of these situations. So, of course, these people having extramarital affairs are, the parents of the kids who are trying to get married. I don't know, maybe someone who was trying to write like real capital A art or like something, or someone who hadn't been around the industry for a while would be like, come on, that's a little silly.
Yeah.
But fuck it, man. Entertain, tell me a fun story. Tell me a lighthearted romp. And I think all of that said, I don't think it works without the great performances.
I agree.
I really liked seeing just these very, familiar, likable faces delivering real smart, funny dialogue and just bouncing off each other well. Geez, it was just really impressive to watch. I very much so enjoyed this film.
Yeah, everybody was really charming. And I really liked that. It's such a simple story, but there's layers to it. Of course, like there's the kids who are stressed out because one of them really wants to get married and the other one's not so sure. And it's like, yeah, well, the people are talking about like how a relationship changes when you change the status of the relationship and stuff. And then it also is talking about aging and your views of, what you used to think are totally different when you're older. And there's these two couples, the parents, that are like mismatched now because their views on romance and love have changed, or maybe they never aligned. You just see all these different points of view of relationships and what relationships mean or can be, and like what do you do about that, ultimately. And it's kind of weird. I was thinking about it, and it's like, most of the people who are going to see these movies are going to be like an older crowd. But younger people need to watch these movies.
Right.
It's really weird because you need to learn these things. And if you can learn them earlier, it's better.
Yeah, I thought this first, or recognized this in myself first when I was watching that spoiler alert movie last year. And I was just like, I like seeing just grown-up romance. Like, show me some, like, rough tread through the years, beaten down. Like, I don't care about the meet cute. I don't care about the first year. I want to know about how it is down the road. Show me that shit. And I mean, this movie was like super lighthearted about it. It gave you a lot of spoonfuls of sugar to help that medicine go down, but it's still real shit, you know. Like, man, God, there's that line where it's, you know, they're like, how could you, you know, cheat on your wife or whatever, or do this to you? And she's like, it's not about you. It's just sometimes some age men just turn into a wrecking ball. And it was like, man, that's like a fucked up line, because it's like, it's kind of an accurate way to put it. It has nothing to do with hurting someone or helping himself. It's just, you just fuck shit up. I guess that's, you know, cliche midlife crisis. But, you know, in order to tell that effectively, you need to talk about people who have been through the middle of their life. And so show me some people on the other side. Show me how they're coping with it, man. I'm digging it when it's done right. And I think this movie really did it right.
Yeah. And it's good, clean fun, you know?
Right.
They're having affairs, but they don't show anything. You
It's
know?
not
And
explicit.
the Diane Keaton character didn't have, I guess, an emotional affair.
affair, yeah, with chicken.
Yeah. And speaking of chicken.
Yes.
After we saw this movie, I was like, man, I want to have a bucket of chicken. So we made my dreams come true. We got so they have like a giant bucket of fried chicken and like a 6-pack of Fresca,
Yeah.
which is cute, and it's not beer.
Get ready for a very San Diego sentence coming up. Tell them how we did.
We had kombucha and some jackfruit chicken tenders. And we put them into our Regal Cinemas Super Pets popcorn bucket.
I just went to town.
Yeah, it was great.
I gotta get the
inspiring.
info after on where you got the jackfruit from. That sounds great.
We got a spot.
Yeah.
Dylan, why don't you tell me your thoughts on this film? Tell me, and I want you to lead with what you led with when you first told me about it.
I forgot what I told you, but listen, love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love. Overall,
That's what you told me, by the way.
oh, well, I'm going to say it again. I love. But my one gripe, this whole movie, too many fucking shoes on the bed.
Oh my
What is
God.
wrong with you guys?
That killed me,
What
bro.
is what are you doing?
Yo, what's
What are
going
you
on?
wearing
I
shoes?
understand that they had that like hotel blanket at the bottom specifically for that,
Fuck
but
that.
it does
Why are
not.
you wearing
I'm with you,
shoes?
bro.
That's gross.
Let's swing on
Even
it.
in that girl's bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, those
terrible.
fucking white Target sneakers that have just dirt.
Dumb moves.
To Justine's point, having like different characters with different voices, like Susan Sarandon is like this kind of domineering, not quite Cruella de Vil style,
But not.
a mean old bag.
Yeah.
No, she's more
Brassy.
like Cruella de Vil because she's like fancy.
Yeah, and then
That necklace she rocked
Goes
when
so
she rolled.
hard.
Oh my goodness.
and then you know, like Diane Keaton just being like this
Diane
like
Keaton.
doe-eyed Diane Keaton-y
Legend.
Keaton. So they did have distinct voices, and I guess, you know, whatever, you could tell us a rich people story, like, you know, that kind of rich people. Like,
That's what it is.
you could tell that kind of rich people story sometimes.
Yeah.
Connecticut, fucking Maine,
They were
New
in-
England's ass.
These are some of the good
Jersey.
ones.
Yeah, they're in New York.
But
Yeah,
filmed in
but
New Jersey.
Yeah, that's
Well, they're watching New York news
Yeah.
in a New York gospel channel.
Oh, that was incredible.
You know, listen, I thought it was nice to see like someone be portrayed as a person of faith without them having some weird fucking angle or that being their dominating factor. Like, yeah, why can't sweet old, nice old Diane Keaton just be a regular old run-of-the-mill Christian without that being the only thing out of her mouth or the only thing on her mind? Like, it, you know, takes up space in her brain. It informs her decisions. There's a reason that she's, you know, of that mindset, but it's not like, okay, now we have to make fun of her for it. It was like, oh, this is just a nice-natured little touch there.
Yeah. She's not like overly Christian. She was
Yeah.
still going to sleep with a random guy, but, you know, but she was a little feeling bad about it.
A regular
you
fucking
know?
person just didn't, you know, again.
So when I was looking at the daughter, Emma Roberts, I didn't know a lot about her. So I was like, why is something about this woman so familiar and like kind of jumps off the screen? I looked into it.
I'm fabulous. The
No,
show.
well, she's Julia Roberts' niece.
Oh.
So there you go, which is cool because then you can kind of tie it to Richard Gere, starred with in Pretty Woman.
Boom.
I thought you were going to say then you can tie it to more nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, she did have that weird monologue where she had a bunch of men stand around her and spit on her and call her a rich kid, and they had that weird psychedelic thing going on. And they had like a lot of attention put on it in the movie. That was weird
And
that
then
they
like
did that.
all the parents got naked and like knelt down, like in rows.
Yeah.
Weirdly, this movie called for an orgy more than
I thought, you know what?
Infinity
Yeah, there was
Pool.
definitely when they're sitting like outside on that weird bench in their front yard. You know, I just got like about to bust out to an orgy or what's happening here? Yeah. Oh my god. This is the third movie where Richard Gere and Susan Sarandon have appeared as husband and wife. They also did that in Shall We Dance and Arbitrage, which I've never seen. They kept referencing the line, you know, in terms of like getting married is jumping off a cliff, which is of course the Thelma and Louise reference.
Boom, baby.
Susan Sarandon.
Boom.
And then one last nerdy thing I wanted to mention was if you look closely at the wedding cake, the bride and the groom were Smurfs, which was
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
addressed.
he, like,
That-
Well, because it
pets
was
it.
on the girl's dresser.
Yeah, and one of the
Dang.
Smurfs was holding the flower because the boy took the bouquet from the girl.
Don't say
And
that the
then he
movie
was like-
masters don't pay
Do
attention.
you remember what? Yeah, when he tapped it.
Yeah,
you don't remember
yeah.
that? Like
Which
he
is
just
really
randomly touched it.
It's so fucking funny. Hey,
Smurf.
this is message. Very subtle, very subtle, but it worked. I was, look, that's all. I think that's all kind of my lesson that I'm taking from the movie is like you can have stage ready dialogue, you can have monologues inserted, you can just pour your ideas out on screen, but it's all has to kind of do with like a consistency and it has to go somewhere, and you can have a lot of tropey kind of problems, but if it's done right, those tropes in and of themselves are not an issue. That's my meta takeaway from this.
I like how there was this cool thing that they were doing with the writing where some of the lines felt throwaway, but they come back later.
Right,
like,
right.
for instance, when Sarandon's character says to Richard Gere's character, I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
And you find out what that means later. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
she got him. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I mean, not for nothing, but again, that's sitcom writing. Like you got 22 minutes, baby. You got to make this shit work. You got 22 minutes and 3 acts.
And then I'll say this for 3% of our listeners. Felt very Neil Simon, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
in terms of the craft. So if that's a name that's familiar to you and you enjoyed Neil's work, watch this movie. Absolutely.
Yeah. Overall, are we going to say I do, or are we leaving this movie at the altar? I'm going to say I do want to see this movie. I had a great time. I laughed a lot. I thought it was really funny. It was really clever. Again, if you have a penchant for those kind of dialogue-driven, Woody Allen-esque rom-coms, if rom-com is not a inherently dirty word to you, this is as well done as we're likely to see. Because I don't think we see a lot of movies like this made anymore. But I really like this movie.
Is it a rom-com?
Is there romance in it?
It's a trace amount.
I feel like it's just like a comedy.
It's all about romance and relationships and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not like
It's nuanced rom-com.
The dialogue and the guitar music let you know it's mostly romance.
Sick.
Oh fuck! Damn? They use a monster track that's
Yeah,
like
there's some
a
rippers.
staple in rom-coms. I'm gonna kick myself when I remember it later. But I don't know. It was romantic and it was comedic. I say that qualifies.
I guess. I was just trying to think of what parts are romantic.
Well, I think we've just been inundated
The
with
kids.
like, meet cutes and the real formulaic kind of rom-coms. But like, yeah, Woody Allen movies are romantic comedies.
I think the kid's story is closest resembles a rom-com.
They
but
were the most boring part.
Oh,
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
acceptable.
that is like that is not anything that has to do with what makes this movie great. You know?
But that's just, they are purely a plot device. They
Yeah,
are like,
yeah.
they are a bank heist.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, they have no chemistry together, and
No.
they're not.
Their characters are a speeding bus that can't go under 55 miles per hour. That is their character. No one's worried about the bus's performance and speed. It is merely something that gets from point A to point B.
Yeah. Well, what was it, Mary?
Are we saying I do, or are we leaving this movie at the altar?
I do think you should watch this movie. I don't care to get married. Sorry. Marriage is an institution.
Damn straight.
I love this movie, and it's not terrifying, but I had this moment where I'm going, oh my God, this is probably going to be in some of my like end of the year superlatives, just because I like you, I laughed so hard at some of these jokes. They really hit. I thought William H. Macy, like I said, like his timing and like just like those fucking harsh like little battering lines that he got in, you know what I mean? And the way that they placed them throughout the flow of the conversations was absolutely brilliant. And I mean, it's a guy taking a stab, this Michael Jacobs taking a stab at an earlier work of his and rewriting it with a whole life behind him. And I think it's pretty largely successful. So I would absolutely recommend this to anybody.
Listen right now. If you like visual gags, if you like, dialogue-driven gags, jokes, as you will, if you love like I do, if you like Emma Roberts and her entire career, as in Unfabulous, Aquamarina, American Horror Story, that one movie, Nerve, the one movie on Netflix for her and that, I don't think it's Army Hammer, but Army Hammer Light. And they're like, let's just date each other. Let's go to each other's family parties and pretend we're in a relationship. Whatever that movie's called, I'm an Emma Roberts head. You're going to like this one if you like her movies. You're going to like this one if you like Diane Keaton movies. I'm going to be at the altar and I'm going to say I do. Maybe.
I just want everyone to know that Dylan was not looking at his phone that time. That shit was off the dome.
Yeah, that was straight off the dome. That was impressive.
Listen, I'm a fan. I grew up with her. Weirdly, I've known about her career since I was like 12.
That's wild. But that's the strange thing. Like I'd always heard the name, but I'd never watched any of that stuff. So for me, I was just like, why does she look so familiar? It's not because anything I saw. It's just because she bears a resemblance to Julia Roberts. It's so weird. I liked it though. I thought she was cool. Like even though like their characters are intentionally written down,
right.
I thought that they did the best that they could. With what they were given.
They weren't actively grading.
It was written such that the other four just like go over.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you can't. You gotta
crushed it.
You don't want to mess with that stew.
Do we know if Richard Gere has always had that New York accent, or did he put that on?
I mean, he was in Pretty Woman.
Isn't he from New York?
I don't know.
I would assume he is.
I think the smug overtakes the accent, and he's always been a smug prick, and he doesn't. God, he's such a good smug prick.
Yeah.
I know. I would be friends with any of them.
Good call.
You would be?
Yeah.
I would be. Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously,
that's the dream.
William H. Macy and I would be really good friends. But yeah, all of them. Each one of them.
I think if I was gay, I would be friends with Susan Sarandon. I think that's the only way that you could befriend a Susan Sarandon is.
You would think so, but my straight ass has made friends with a lot of women like that, and
brassy broads.
Yeah.
You're friends with Diane Keaton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm too mean for Diane Keaton. I'd say something really fucked up to her, make her cry.
She wouldn't cry.
I'm a fucking asshole. I'm too much of a freak for. I guess if she worked with Richard Gere.
No, she would just be like Angie.
That was a good time.
Yeah, they would just be like, "Oh, you."
You're
say
always
the
like
darndest
that.
things. Oh, don't be like that. You don't mean that.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Dylan.
You got any games?
Always. Okay, so today there is a theme. I'm not going to let you know what it is. We'll see who can figure it out first. Our first movie is from 1996. You've got 6 options for actors. The description is as follows. Sherman Klump is a sweet stumblebum of a science professor who's grossly overweight. When he meets a beautiful teaching assistant, he's motivated to try his lab experiments with DNA restructuring on himself, and he's transformed into a thin, testosterone-overloaded super stud. Your lead actor is appealing and convincing as the prof, and hilarious as his alter ego. Through camera magic and the eye-popping, Oscar-winning makeup by Rick Baker and David Leroy Anderson, he also plays almost every member of his family. One ingredient Jerry Lewis never thought of, enough flatulence jokes to last 10 lifetimes, followed by a sequel.
You know what popped up in my YouTube algorithm recently?
What'd you get?
Siskel and Ebert's worst movies of 1996.
So you're like you're
It was so
ready to
hard.
go.
They were like, Jingle All the Way. This sucks. They were like shitting on so many movies, like Natural Born Killers, I think was one of them. Like shitting on a lot of movies that have kind of become staples. Ruthless. It was great. I'm gonna see more of those.
So we've got up to 6 actors you can pull
Bro,
from.
I might have name a movie in one because I can't recall exactly the title.
I have title.
Uh-huh.
I think I have 2, but I think I have 4. If I had to remember if one of them was the one person and if the other one was actually in this one.
Yeah. I think you're onto something.
I have title in one.
Title in 1. So let's do Dylan title in 2.
All right, Nutty Professor.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Is Dave Chappelle listed?
You are correct, sir. Congratulations. What were your guesses for the
Is
other?
Vivica A. Fox in it? Or is that someone else?
No, she's not. It's Jada Pinkett. What you're thinking of. Then you had a 4th?
Bernie Mac's not in it, right?
No,
Okay,
you've
see,
got.
that's why I was like, I can't remember who the girl was, and I swore I thought it was Vivica A. Fox. Then I was like, I feel like Bernie Mac's in it, but there's like sequels and shit.
Yeah.
And I could just be confusing them.
Exactly. That's exactly what you were doing. Yeah.
I thought it was like the Nutty Professor, but then I was like, wait, there was that Flubber thing. Is it Flubber? Is Flubber the name of the movie?
Yeah, they seem the same. I mean, not the same, but they have the same vibe.
Because there's a Meet the Clumps. Flubber is a different movie?
Yeah, that's like
Flubber is Robin Williams, and he has a
Williams.
little green slime
Oh,
thing.
fuck me.
And
Yeah,
then
I like.
there's Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, there's Dr. Doolittle. That's what Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy.
Dr. Doolittle is when he talks to animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
I screwed up because
A lot of doctors.
These all happen in like 18 months. I'm not, and I feel like they fast track these fucking sequels. So Meet the Clumps. There was a Meet the Clumps, right?
Yes.
Oh, there was a Nutty Professor too, and then there was a Meet the Clumps. What's that? Isn't there like an Aaliyah song where the music video
For
is
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, that shit's hard.
Dang.
It's like Aaliyah in a cave with some other dancers, and they're fucking.
It cuts to him and cuts to Eddie Murphy reacting to a parrot flying to his face.
And it's playing on the cave.
Like a projector.
Is it the Plato's parable of the cave, the shadow play thing? So it's like, man, they're really going highbrow on us on this Aaliyah X Dr. Doolittle soundtrack music video. Go on, Brent.
Okay. 2013 movie. You've got 18 actors. One hint I will give you is that one of these actors also co-directed. Now, here's your description. One of the lead actors, playing himself like most of the cast, welcomes another actor to Los Angeles for a visit and takes him to yet another different actor's house for a party. But an earthquake and its ensuing chaos force the 6 key male friends with unresolved issues to find some way to survive inside one of the actor's modern mansions. What should be a one-joke movie is surprisingly well sustained by a never-ending series of inventive, outlandish, preposterously vulgar comedic ideas. Not recommended for anyone who's easily offended or not a fan of these actors. The lead actor and his co-writer, we'll say, also wrote the screenplay based on Jason Stone's short Jay and Seth versus the Apocalypse.
I have no idea.
Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, it helps to have seen it.
I feel like maybe I've seen the poster.
There's gonna be a nice face-off between these two, I think.
I'm at 5. I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
bullshit.
So I think I'm tapping out at 3, honestly.
Okay. Well, I'm at 5.
You're at 5? Okay.
But I feel like I don't remember the title well enough.
No.
This is a notoriously terrible fucking title of a movie.
Yeah.
It's ironic because it's a very fitting title for a conclusion of an era of comedy, I would say. Ironically, I don't think it intended to be that, but it is weirdly the most fitting title in a meta sense,
Yeah.
and the worst title because no one can ever fucking remember the name of it. Let me tell you, this is a terrible name for a movie, and this is the one thing that holds it back. But I'm saying don't feel bad about not knowing the title.
Okay. This is the end?
You are correct.
Okay. Seth Rogen,
Correct.
James Franco,
Correct.
Danny McBride.
Correct.
Who I only thought of as Kenny Powers and couldn't fucking get past that. So I tapped out at 3.
Michael Cera,
Correct.
Emma Stone.
No. Wrong Emma.
Oh, not Emma Roberts. Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, there's multiple.
Emma. I know which Emma it is. I can't remember the last name. Watson?
Correct. But I mean, you think surpassed his 30
Yeah,
by
I know.
84. Yes, you're good.
And I was like, oh, it's not Hermione. Fuck.
No,
That's
I
her
got
name.
a mushy ass brain today. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
I
I'm
Kenny
not
Powers
using that
is
as
in
an
it.
excuse.
Hermione's in
Kenny.
it.
I'll just leave it at that.
But this is a bad name for a movie, right?
Yeah.
Every bro comedy that was released from 2006 to 2013, and this was the grand conclusion. This was the last of them. It's weird because this ended a fucking era.
Yeah.
It kind of ended a run. You didn't have movies like this after this movie. It's like they knew, but I don't think they knew. Regardless, it's an impossible name to remember.
Check out who else you could have named. Aziz Ansari, Kevin Hart, Channing Tatum, Paul Rudd, Martin Starr, Rihanna, Craig Robinson.
That's the other guy.
That's
I was
who you're
trying to
thinking
think
of, yeah. And of course, Jonah Hill.
Paul Rudd's a bro comedy legend. We should have.
Oh,
That
100%.
should have been off the dome.
Yeah, transcends it.
I was definitely thinking about Pee-wee when he said Paul Rudd. I was like, Paul Rubin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro comedy legend.
Oh, bro comedy.
Let's stand up.
Pull my finger.
We're saluting it.
Wait,
Paul Rubin.
if you think about it, Seth Rogen's voice, kind of Ruben-esque.
Yeah, the boy's got range.
Yeah. The next movie is from 1983. This is considered a classic. You have up to 13 actors to choose from. Your description is as follows. Fine cast breathes life into time-worn comedy premise. Remember those Three Stooges shorts? Testing heredity versus environment by switching a have, played by a preppy, and a have-not, played by a street hustler. Main actor in his second film is a comic powerhouse and makes up for director Landis's indulgences, like a subplot involving a horny gorilla.
Shots fired on Landis is fucking bold. This dude was about to make fucking Ghost, but was these contemporaneous? Or were these reviews when the book was published, or were they these compilations of reviews?
It's a compilation
that
of
were in
like
their
every
time?
publishing
Oh,
of
when it
what
came
came out at
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
fucked up. That's how you know where Landis was before
Yeah.
old Ghostbusters landed.
Yeah.
I got 2.
3.
Okay.
Sadly, I can only name one right now.
Okay.
I can't remember anyone else. I know the faces, can't name the names.
Yeah. All right, Justine, it's on you.
Is it Trading Places?
It is.
There's Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
And Dan Aykroyd.
Yep.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are your main 3.
You know how I told you my brain's mush?
Yeah.
I was fibbing on the second one. I just could picture him. I could not remember him.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I was trying to
my
think of
mind is
Aykroyd.
fucking shot right now. It's fucked.
So
Jamie Lee Curtis is a good pull, though.
You
For
could have
sure.
gone Jim Belushi, but yeah.
I don't know him. But I recently was talking about that movie because on New Year's, my brothers and I will say, Merry New Year.
Merry New Year. I do that all the time. Emails, especially. Because everybody's like, I hope you are doing well. Happy belated New Year. I'll write back, Merry New Year. Yeah.
And then I was reminded by one of my brothers that he goes, beef jerky time.
Yes. So good.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty not well versed in Eddie Murphy classics. So that's like a huge realm where it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Name anything about it beyond like the poster. And then I draw a blank. But I've seen Trading Places recently. It was a fine film.
Justine, did you and your siblings get into The Golden Child?
You know what's really weird? I saw that in school. Like I
In
saw that in like
school?
5th grade or something.
What was the lesson?
Oh, was it just like a rainy day or some shit? Like, oh, it's the last day of school. Here you go.
Yeah, you get
No
They had this on
idea.
VHS. We rolled out the TV for this.
That one has like a lot of lines that my brother and I would still say to each other. So, yeah. Okay, we're going to go back to 2013. You have up to 18 actors to work with. Okay, so your lead is completely believable as cocky, real-life Jordan Belfort, whose knack for outsmarting the conventional rules of stock trading helped him to build a financial firm with enormous assets, no scruples, and a will to party hard in the 1980s. It's a wild ride and fun at times, but a film all about excessive behavior risks becoming excessive itself. 3 hours of smutty, in-your-face debauchery, including more cocaine usage than you'll see in the 1983 Scarface, is hard to take. It will also never be mistaken for a female empowerment tale. Still, there's no denying Scorsese's storytelling prowess or the robust performances by the lead and his co-star as his out-of-control comrade. Filmmaker Spike Jonze appears briefly, Belfort's misdeeds also inspired the earlier film Boiler Room. He makes a cameo in the final scene, introducing your lead, written by Terrence Winter.
I got 3 in the name.
I tap out after 2.
Okay.
I have no idea what this is.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
It's like, I wonder who the woman is.
Well, no, but like she like wins by not knowing this. You know, it's a twist. So we'll rock with Dylan with 3.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Correct?
Leo DiCap.
Yep.
Jonah Hill.
Correct?
Margot Robbie.
Correct. There you go.
You didn't like Wolf of Wall Street?
Me?
Yeah.
I think she wins because I
yeah.
would be disappointed if she was like, I fuck hard with Wolf of Wall Street.
Scorsese is my man. Irishman, my fucking favorite
Fucking
film.
love that.
Yeah, we can the 3 of us as the male contingent of this podcast. Yes, we should absolutely know this movie and be dumb about this movie. But, you know, her saying I have no idea what this is made me so happy.
How many do you know how many Scorsese movies you've seen?
I'm going to admit this to you right now. I could not tell you if it was Scorsese or not.
Right.
So
Name
I
a
have
movie
no
you think was
idea.
Scorsese.
Heat.
You saw that one?
I've seen the end of it.
Oh. I don't remember if Scorsese did.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
See, you don't even know.
Is that Brian De Palma?
This
don't know.
is Scorsese-esque.
Yeah, let's look up Heat. What's Heat? Who did Heat?
Oh, for the director?
Yeah.
It's Michael Mann.
Oh, fuck. Way off.
Yeah.
See? It's like a genre of film.
Yeah. That's
Scorsese movie.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, I don't know. I guess that's a forgivable kind of boy movie, you know? That's a movie you would want, like.
This is like a Cowboys and Indians type of thing.
Yeah, that's like,
The
I think
modern
that's
version.
probably people born past like the 70s. That's probably their Western movies is a lot of swearing and sitting in hot rooms and screaming and then hitting a girl and then shooting a bunch of people and then screaming more. And that's kind of all of those, that cinematic universe.
You ever seen Shark Tale?
No.
He's in it. He didn't direct it though.
He's in it?
Yeah. He's like he's a Scorsese fish.
Wow.
Dead ass.
That's what she got, just wow. All right, we've got a rare entry from 1999. I don't recall ever talking about a 1999 movie in this game. You have up to 9 actors to choose from, and your description is as follows. Desperate, down-and-out filmmaker schemes to make a movie with the top action star in Hollywood without bothering to tell him that he's in the picture. Likeable co-stars carry this comedy a long way. There are some good laughs throughout, but it's never as satisfying as you'd like it to be. Your lead has fun playing a doofus look-alike for the action hero, written by the co-star.
You can't remember the title, can you? Oh, wait.
Dylan
It's
is having
fucked up.
like...
You've watched me watch it
I
recently.
know.
losing
I've
it
watched
right now.
it several times in my life.
I know, and I just watched it like the last.
And that's why
2
I say
years.
it's a bad name for a movie.
Yeah. I can name 3. I can't name the fucking name of the movie though.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Colin, do you have the name of the movie?
Can I name you the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the movie, which is way funnier than the actual answer?
Hit me with it.
Bullworth. Because they came out around the same time, and
God, you
I
are
think
so close.
That's exactly the problem, is that they're so close.
You know.
There is a bro comedy legend in this one too,
There is, yeah, indeed. Yep, there is.
and it's not who you're thinking.
Yeah.
There's a couple. Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so we've determined that nobody can get the title. You don't
Give
have
me a
the
second.
title.
Give me a
what's-
second.
You know what popped up in my head? It's like Bobo Williams or something.
Wait a second. Give me a second.
I know what it is.
Yes.
The title?
Yeah, steal this motherfucker.
All right, can you name any actors though?
I can name one.
You don't need to name any if you can get the title, and we can't.
No, that's not true.
No, you just the title of the film. The actors are just like to get you ahead.
Oh, wait. I know the second person in it.
Oh,
I know two people.
God damn
Yeah,
it!
'cause I still have 3. I have 3.
Do you need more time?
That's my
Do
problem.
the 2 of you need more time?
I don't think we deserve it.
Okay.
Justine.
Well,
just-
Dylan
No.
and I are kind of even then, right? If you
Yeah,
have
but
3
you know the
things,
title.
then I have
yeah,
3
title
things.
is what matters. Actors are supplemental.
He clearly doesn't know the title right.
I literally called it Bobo Williams. And I
Yeah.
know that's wrong.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Bowfinger?
Motherfucker! Motherfucker!
See, that sounds like Bo.
Justine with the hot knowledge.
Bullfinger.
Bo,
Son of a bitch.
Bo
Yeah,
Baggins.
Bullfinger.
Who's the chick in this one?
Heather Graham.
Heather Graham, a bro comedy fucking
That's why
legend.
I was like, fuck.
Yep.
That's my third one, and no one knows what that lady
True
is.
bro
but no
comedy
one knows
legend.
the fucking name of the movie.
Justine, go ahead and give us the two actors.
Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, Martin, a bit of a San Diego legend. He's a prolific writer, and a lot of his.
just a legend, dog.
Yeah, he's just a legend.
No.
San
What I'm
Diego
saying is,
now.
like, yeah, if you ever go down to Balboa Park and go to the Shakespeare Theater, more often than not, the plays that are playing in the Shakespeare Theater written by Steve Martin.
Or William Shakespeare.
One of the two.
Occasionally. Well, the outside
are on
ones.
that
Okay.
level.
The ones inside the globe, Shakespeare. The ones on the outside stage, Martin.
That's crazy. Shout out to Balboa Park.
Yeah.
No, don't go there. It's my favorite place.
Oh, gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the fuck out of
Don't
Balboa
blow
Park.
up the spot.
I don't know if they still have those giant rats there and the plague and everything. So yeah,
it
you
smells
might.
like pee. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So you also had Jamie Kennedy in that one and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I forgot Jamie Kennedy's in it. God damn it.
For some reason, I thought you would get Jamie Kennedy.
No, I just remembered
Yeah.
Heather Graham being in it.
Listen, that's a legit.
no shame.
Well, I
Bowfinger, though.
don't know about a legit good movie. It's a good movie.
I remember watching and be like, yeah, it's a movie.
It's a movie, but it's okay. Put it this way: it's better than it should be,
Yeah, that's for sure.
and it's a horrible fucking name because you can never goddamn remember the name of.
Bowfinger.
Yeah.
But the fact that I could pull Bulworth is fucked.
Yeah. But that's the wrong movie.
Of course, who was in Bulworth? It was
what's his name that played Dick Tracy? What's his
Warren
name?
Beatty.
Donna.
Warren Beatty.
He
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
a president who's like on the run, and he gets wrapped up with he hangs out with rappers and he does rap battles.
Oh, God
I
damn
know
it.
what I'm watching after this podcast.
Dude, Bulworth sucks, but the other
okay.
one is good. Bowfinger is good. Just has a terrible title,
Never
Yeah.
seen
in
it.
my opinion. Bulworth or Bowfinger,
Neither one.
if you have to choose. Look,
Yeah.
it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's like Beatles or Rolling Stones, or Lennon or McCartney. Bowfinger or Bulworth? Like you gotta
Wait,
pick
so
one.
have you not seen Bowfinger?
No, I'm not.
Oh my God, she got it. on-
You would just
I just remember it being around, and I remember being like grossed out by the nerd version of him.
oh yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, he
"Ew, I
hams it
don't
up pretty
like that."
hard.
Yeah.
How many Eddie Murphy movies are you giving him past Bowfinger?
That are good.
Yeah, because it's not like he had a spotless catalog up until that point.
So you think that might be the turning point?
I haven't seen that newest one on Netflix, but I dare say that's the last great Eddie Murphy film. And great is undercase G, lowercase g.
Yeah, because he got into that weird thing where he just started playing multiple characters and
Sequel-itis and all that shit.
yeah. Man, yeah, I think you may be correct. So, I mean, like you got voiceover stuff, which I don't think should count.
No, we're
Right?
not giving him Donkey. Sorry.
You can't
That's
give
not
him
an
daddy
Eddie.
daycare.
I forgot that's him.
Donkey. Yeah.
Norbit, you can't really give.
No.
to him.
That's like a classic. Are you fucking serious? Like, my generation loved fucking Norbit. If we still talk about it, it's so fucked. That movie sucks, and like my gen just like ate that movie up. It's
Dylan, have
fucked.
you heard? It says he's got this credit. It says Beverly Hills Cop, but not the original one. It says like TV movie 2013.
I thought it was a show.
It's so bizarre. So Colin was asking, like is Bowfinger the turning point to where he starts making bad movies?
He's in that movie where he has to smile all the time. What's that one called? And then there's the one where he's like, he has to be nice, like he's forced to be nice,
He's forced to.
and
do
like
that.
the leaves of the tree like falls off if he's being mean or some shit. Or no, it's like words. Every word he says, leaves fall off, and if they all fall off, he dies.
That's so
It's
crazy.
like a 2010s film. I think Jonah Hill's also in it.
1,000 words.
Yeah, 1,000 words.
Yeah. Okay, I got to see that.
That movie sucks, but it's heartwarming. It's good.
So of the ones I've seen, I would say post Bowfinger, Dolomite is my name. Just because it's a good movie.
Wait, that's not a documentary?
No, it's
No.
like a biopic,
Okay.
and it was like a post Charlie death. So Eddie Murphy was like, "This is dedicated to my brother."
Okay.
So like, it was very heartfelt, but it was straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm like flipping through this. There are so many Shrek things.
Yeah.
Yeah. like non-movie Shrek stuff.
Like
Shrek's Christmas Tales, featuring the babies of Shrek. It's like, who
DreamWorks,
fucking cares?
Shrek Swamp Stories.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shrek's
for-
Yule Log.
For fairness, I'm
Fuel
going to
log.
need you to put your phone down. For fairness, right now,
I'm learning about the
Okay.
Shrek
We're
verse.
gaming. We're
because
gaming now. Hey,
Right
speaking
now.
of the Shrek verse, Puss in Boots crossed 300 million.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking shit up at the box office,
Nice.
bro.
Good to hear.
Yeah, suck it.
Okay. So I remind you, we are in 2007 right now. You have up to 18 voice actors for this one that you can select.
18 voice actors.
Yeah. Now listen to me.
I'm listening.
Okay? No phones. When the king of far, far away dies, it's up to the big green ogre to take his place. But he doesn't want the job. So he, Donkey, and Puss in Boots go off in search of the only other heir to the throne. Third trip to the well finds the water stale and filled with silt. But kids may still be entertained.
Shit on him, Maltin.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Bad motherfucker.
shitting
Listen,
on everyone.
everyone, listen. This is Dylan's swamp. We're just treading on it.
I have 5.
Dang.
If it's the same people, I have 4.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get in the way of this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead, Dylan.
Shrek 3.
You're correct.
Mike Myers.
Wait, hold on. What's it actually called?
It's Shrek 3.
Nope.
It's not Shrek 3.
Nope.
Oh, you want that? It's like Shrek, not Forever After.
No.
It's Shrek, the third.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You got it.
So it's Mike Myers as Shrek,
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz as Fiona.
He's dropping characters,
Girl
ladies and
Shrek.
gentlemen.
Yeah, Girl Shrek, aka Girl Shrek. Eddie Murphy as Donkey.
Right?
Justin Timberlake as the little prince kid that they had to kidnap. Justin Timberlake not
Yeah,
listed?
he's listed. He's listed.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just down on the list. Yeah.
And Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots.
You are correct. You've also got Seth Rogen in there.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Ian McShane, Amy Poehler, Regis Philbin, Maya Rudolph, Amy Sedaris, Julie Andrews shows up in this. Eric Idle from Monty Python. I mean, this thing is stacked. John Krasinski.
I'm just happy that they're reaching out to more SNL alum. That's nice
That's
to see.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
pretty
Mike
awesome.
was probably giving him.
Yeah,
He's like, you know how hard it is to get a job?
yeah. Get these motherfuckers some paychecks.
He was doing it in the Shrek voice, so he was like, "Oi, mate, fucking give him some fucking SNL love."
That's crazy. We just walked into Dylan's wheelhouse.
I don't want to get out my fucking swamp.
Fuck you, SNL, come in here.
Eat my fucking balls. I want Amy fucking Sedaris, or I fucking walk. How you gonna get to play Shrek then? Yeah, don't fucking play with this man.
For real. He knows his Shrek. Okay, we're going to do one more. This is 2007. You have up to 10 actors to choose from. Nerdy friends are desperate to have girlfriends, and maybe even sex itself before going to college. They get the chance when they're invited to a party by a hot girl from their high school, but naturally, complications arise. Raunchy comedy features an almost endless torrent of vulgar and very funny language, but it's also an apt, occasionally even sensitive study of young, confused desires and the inevitable embarrassments that go along with them. Co-produced by Judd Apatow.
I feel like that's a positive review, right?
I think so.
He found the heart in the center of the film, and
He
that's why Maltin's the fucking goat.
So yeah, again, up to 10 actors you can select. I saw Dylan doing this thing with his fingers that means that he knows exactly what this film is, and he's just trying to stack
Bro,
points.
I can't remember McLovin's fucking actor's name, so I think I'm out.
How many are you at?
4.
Yeah, I'm at 4 too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wait, how do you have 4 if you know the lady?
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to remember the other guy's
Yeah,
name.
see, he's
That's an easy one.
Oh, fuck. But I don't know if it's going to be in the book. So I have 5 now, but
yeah. They say there's one that Colin might have that I think you just got.
I don't think he has the one I just got. but-
Okay.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh,
This is the beauty of the game right here.
I'm at 5.
I think I'm at 5, but the 5 is a fucked one.
See, that's where I'm at.
I
too.
know. God damn it. Why can't I remember that? I don't.
Hold on.
Justine, have you been able to come up with 5?
I had like 3 or 4, maybe 4.
Uh-huh. It's a tough one because you only have 10 to work with.
Oh, god damn it. Oh, son of a bitch.
And you know what's fucked?
What's up?
I'm confusing all the other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy shows up. Wait, that happens in the other films.
Yeah. James Franco is not in this movie, I don't believe.
God, if you can get 5, that's incredible.
No, there's me not at 6 is gross.
Where are you at? You're at 5?
I'm at 5, and it's 4.5 because
confusing.
I don't know about my confusion. Can I just say my confusion one? And if that's not in there,
All right, yeah, you want him to rock it, and then if he drops it, you pick it up. Sure. All right.
Tiffany Haddish in this movie?
No.
Fuck. All right, I'm done.
All right, Dylan, all yours.
And this is where my 5th. I don't know if my 5th counts either.
Do
Well,
you
I don't
wanna
know
have
if it's
him-
in the book. I know he's in it, but I don't know if it's in the book.
What's
Well,
your
how about have
puff?
him-
Just
I'll
swing.
drop my 5th. You tell me it's in the book.
Yeah, I swung and missed. You'd swing and miss.
I know for a fact he's in the movie, but I don't know if he would credit him in the film.
Let me know.
Dave Franco.
Ooh, good
They did
call.
not put him in the book.
They say people don't forget, and yet.
Yeah, he's in it. That's the guy that they tell that to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It happened in the 3rd grade. People don't forget.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't count.
Well,
so
how do you not have...
So now do we go 4 for 4?
So I have 4, but,
So
I know you have one I don't have, and I know the one that you were confused.
Yeah.
So let's go to war.
Okay, well, if it's war, then I have to lead.
Yes.
Bill Hader.
Yes.
I don't have Bill Hader, but I have Michael Cera,
Yes.
Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Emma Stone.
Yes.
Emma fucking Stone. God damn it.
And I just said it too.
I know.
Like I
Seth
said-
Rogen.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Who's the fucking guy from the goddamn state?
that's what I was trying to remember
I
too.
know.
I was trying to remember Bill Hader's name. I was like, it's not Bill. And then I was trying to remember the state guy that drives
He's a
him around.
fucking icon.
Here's who's listed. You got Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Bill Hader,
That's McLovin.
That's McLovin.
Seth Rogen, Martha McIsaac, Emma Stone, Aviva, Joe Lo Trujillo.
That's the guy that picks him up in the car, is trying to go to the party with him.
Last
And he was
person
in the
listed
state.
is
Iconic.
Kevin Corrigan.
I think this is a draw.
But the draw is an asterisk.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you the bump because yours is in the movie, just not in the book. You got more of a bump than me, a full miss.
So now that we've played all of those movies, can you figure out the theme?
Yeah, it's
Funny films.
Jonah
Yeah.
Hill and it's
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy because they are both in the film. Brent?
Oh, it's called You People.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brand new Netflix movie. It normally wouldn't get covered on the show, but I enjoyed it so much I wanted to draw some light to it via the game. So if you haven't checked it out and you're a fan of either of those guys, or you just want to laugh, definitely check out You People, currently exclusive to Netflix and probably always exclusive to Netflix because they funded it.
I heard no love for 1,000 Words or My Life is Dave.
Coming to America.
Wow, Brent, you messed up.
I could have done a bunch more,
No
but
Norbit?
so here's
You're
the
not gonna
thing.
explain the
Let me
plot
explain
of
how this
Norbit
game
to me?
works. I have this many.
No haunted mansion.
Listen,
You don't want to explain Leonard Maltin's explanation for Norbit
I'll come
or
back
Planet
to it.
Pluto Nash?
We will come
Pluto
back.
Nash is a fucking good pull.
Here's how the game works. I have this many DIY bookmarks. There's this many movies. So I've been using that every time. This many. So I had to split it between Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy. So yeah.
That's a good one, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because you're like, Shrek? Really?
I guess Shrek the Third. Never mind.
Yeah.
You picked a weird one.
I know. Yeah, I tried because I knew I had to throw you.
Well, you threw them.
But it was also giving it was giving them more options because that's where you get Antonio Banderas and you get like a bigger cast. The OG Shrek, you don't have as many options.
You know goddamn well this is Dylan Swamp. I told you this
Yeah.
is a foregone conclusion.
Just too smart for the game, man.
I've seen all the movies. Like I said, I have a blind spot.
Hey,
Forgot the name of Bowfinger, but can you blame me on that one?
I always think Badfinger.
I think you would like Bowfinger.
You never seen
Scared.
Bowfinger?
What do you? Oh, because the nerdy guy grosses you out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that gross out though.
He's not-
It's
it's not-
aliens. It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's not that gross. Wait, Bowfinger?
Yeah, the movie they're shooting about is an alien
Oh, I think
invasion.
you meant I was like, the plot is not about aliens, you fuck. Confusing me, bro.
That concludes another edition of the Maltin Game. Dylan, what are we watching next?
What's up, you beautiful bastards? Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. Next week, we got the new M. Night Shyamalan's new hit,
Masters.
Knock at the Cabin. I'm really excited for this one, honestly, man. Like, I love me some Dave Bautista in films. But, you know what else I love? Movies. Movies about fandoms. That's right. 84 Brady. I'm really, really excited for this one. If you know me, I love me some Jane Fonda, and I love me some Sally Field. Anyway, see you at the movies. Bye.